Open debate. Soup and stew are drinks. It is acceptable to have them in a cup.
Soup and stew are not drinks, that's disgusting.
They are drinks.
Have them in a cup, but they're not drinks.
They're liquid, you swallow without chewing, that's a drink.
Objection! You swallow stew without chewing?
Okay, not the chunks of stew, but the broth.
We eat soup. We don't say we drink soup, that just sounds wrong. We eat it.
Objection! Well, it may sound wrong, but it's accurate.
No, it is not.
I'm gonna go drink some Campbell's tomato soup. See? No problemo.
No!
Hold it! It's sort of like a sauce, is it not? And sauce ain't a drink.
Okay, hold up. Where did you get sauce from?
I don't know, tomato soup, ketchup?
There are so many hot takes here that I'm going to implode.
What are we putting soup on top of?
On top of a bowl or a cup, I don't know.
Objection! Sauce is not a drink because it is meant to be eaten on top of something else. Soup, however, is a solitary experience. Therefore, it is a drink.
Objection! Okay, tell that to my friend who chugged mayo.
You guys are gonna make me cry, and I cry like 3 times a year maximum.
Your friend is an outlier and therefore shouldn't be counted.
You can't order soup at cafes as a drink. On menus, soup is under food, is it not?
Because cafes are cowards!
Soup is for eating!
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the topic of stew.
Stew is not a drink.
I'm gonna go stew in despair now.
You might say stew is not a drink because it has chunks you can't swallow. However, ice water also has chunks you can't swallow and it's still a drink. Stew equals drink.
Objection! Okay, who says I don't swallow ice? I fucking swallow those icy cubes and choke on them and cry. Also, soup is a combo of food items. And stew is too. They are foods.
Objection! So is a milkshake or a protein shake, and those are drinks.
Yes, they can be both.
Many drinks are combos of food items.
Shut the hell your mouth.
Objection! They're drinks because they're finely blended, and listen. Ice water, only the water is a drink.
Soup is finely blended as well.
Objection! Like the carrots, the watercress, the chicken, fight me!
Hold it! If I open a can of Campbell's tomato soup, I better not see any freaking carrots floating around in there. I just mix it with a can of milk and go ham.
Ew, no!
What?
Campbell's can go drown in cranberries like in that one ad I always have nightmares about. Campbell's tomato soup isn't supposed to have carrots, duh. Case closed, soup is not a drink. The broth? Sure, go ham. The soup? I think the fuck not.
Objection! No, I refuse!
Objection! Are you going to find tomato soup in the drinks aisle at the supermarket? Are you going to find Campbell's fucking tomato soup in the drinks section?
Because markets are cowards! Because the status quo has not yet been changed!
Alright, so is gravy a drink?
Gravy is a sauce.
And soup is a soup!
You don't have gravy on its own. If you're having gravy on its own, then yeah, it's a drink.
What the fuck? No, gravy is not a drink!
If you're having it alone and not on top of mashed potatoes, then it's a drink. I wouldn't do that, but whatever floats your boat. Like a gravy boat.
What?
If it's a liquid that you don't chew, it's a drink.
Okay. In that case, many soups are foods. Do you just swallow and gulp the entire fucking tomato soup?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you can use a spoon, but you don't have to. It's the same consistency as, like, a protein shake, which is decidedly a drink.
Soups were made as a food. Protein shakes, they were made with the intent of being a drink. Which, you drink.
Yes, they have more sustenance than, like, water, but it's still a drink. Something can be a meal and a drink.
Clear soups can be drinks, I guess, but creamy soups, those fuckers are foods.
You don't have to eat it with a spoon, though. You can very well gulp soup down on its own from a cup. Creamy soups are the consistency of a shake and are therefore still drinks. Thick drinks, sure, but drinks nonetheless.
Objection! So, if I gulp down, say, rice from a cup, it's a drink?
Objection! No, because you need to chew rice.
Hold it! Not if I gulp it.
Hold it! Not a liquid.
Hold it! And with that logic, you gotta chew the fucking food chunks in stew.
No, because ice water is still a drink and you have to chew the ice.
The ice is not a drink.
A drink can have chunks and still be a drink. But it's part of it.
The ice is a solid part of the drink.
Objection! In a stew, the broth is technically a heavily diluted liquid version of the stew parts. It's got the meat, vegetables, and spices. Case closed.
Fine, how about the answer just be soup can be either a food or a drink?
Fine.